The new American Angus Association feeder cattle program, AngusLink, uses indexes to score enrolled cattle. Stephen Miller, Angus Genetics Incorporated Director of Genetic Research, shares with us how producers can best use specific scores for their operation.
So these scores that we put on feeder calves, the idea is really to translate genetic potential in terms of real terms that a feedlot or commercial cattle buyer can understand it and use. The question often comes up, well, you know, do these scores work? And well, behind those scores are really EPDs. And there's been, you know, decades of work done to prove that EPDs work. And we're just translating what we know about EPDs into performance potential in terms of profitability. So there's more than one trait that's important for profitability in the feedlot. You know, we've got, growth rate's one, but what about feed conversion, for example? Performance on the rail in terms of carcass weight and marbling and yield, all those things are important. So we apply economic principles to basically weight those traits appropriately, and then we put that in terms of a score. So these scores that we put on the commercial calves are directly related to the economic indexes that have been available on Angus cattle for quite some time, actually since 2004. They get updated, but you know, economic values or these economic indexes on seedstock cattle is not new. Putting it into these commercial calves is relatively new. There has always kind of been a bit of a disconnect between the cow-calf side in terms of they buy bulls and they understand EPDs, but they sell their calves in the marketplace and they're 600 pounds in black and they've got these vaccinations, but the genetic information doesn't actually flow with those calves. So now we've actually taken that genetic information, you know, the bull history, you know, have breeders actually been selecting bulls that are above average for growth and marbling and these things that are important in the feedlot, and now we can distinguish between genetically really good 600-pound black vaccinated calves and calves that are 600 pounds in black, but not necessarily great for marbling and growth rate, and actually putting a dollar value on those things.
Miller explains what each index is.
The indexes that are used with AngusLink are basically the dollar beef, dollar feedlot, dollar grid values that breeders would be familiar with. But we've basically taken those and put them on a scale and basically benchmarked them on the fly. So a commercial breeder, when he's looking to select bulls, what he needs to look at is essentially that dollar B or dollar beef value. That's our economic index on seedstock cattle, but that is directly comparable to the beef score that's put out on those feeder calves. So if he wants to improve the beef score on his feeder calves, he needs to buy bulls with a higher dollar B. If he wants to improve his feeder performance score or his grid score, likewise, selecting bulls with a higher dollar feedlot, dollar F, or dollar G in terms of dollar grid.
Visit AngusLink.com to learn more. Stay tuned.